Alrighty. So today I'm back playing some Crusader Kings 2, and I'm trying to record pretty much just the greatest playthrough, the greatest run ever. I've tried recording it maybe 5 times over the past month, and not month, but like 2 months, 3 months, and every single time I get unlucky, and so hopefully today things turn out a little bit different. Now the playthrough is to start in the early Middle Ages, play as Charlemagne, and I'll get into all the smaller details. So of course we're playing on Iron Man, the only way I play this game, and then really I think everything is on default and just kind of as it's shipped. However, there's one important thing that I do want to change, which is defensive packs. I'm turning this off. Typically tends to make the game easier. Playing this playthrough, it's not 100% necessary, but it's one thing that I always do anyways, because it can kind of get annoying whenever you're just massive and then the entire world will declare war on you if you declare war on anyone else. The heirs of Alexander. So, we'll get into this and I will explain everything that I want to do. First things first, there's a number of things that we gotta sort of go through and do. Something I like doing is clicking on all of the major Christian lords and making them of special interest, so that we can kind of keep an eye on things, just so we can pay attention to what's important. So something that I found out recently is actually King Desiderius of Lombardy here, he's actually 52. I didn't know that. He's older than I believe the Emperor. Yeah, he is older than the Emperor. That's crazy. So that's something I found out on the most recent playthrough. And, so going through quickly, I'll just get everything that is important out of the way first. So we're going to transfer to all of our powerful dukes a bunch of land. Vexen here. And so the reason I'm doing this is if we check out de jure kingdoms, I'm going to give Duke Flanders here, the Duke of Flanders, all of the land within the de jure kingdom of West Francia. Transfer to, just keep on going down the list. Every single thing that's in this blue area here. Every single last one of them. Wido of Sion. And then even go so far as to give him Scheimgaud of Retz. So we'll go ahead and give him that guy. And then the same thing with the Duke of West Frisia. We're going to transfer to him all of the land within Middle Francia as well as Frisia up there. So Julich, Robert of Liege, the Prince Bishop of Trier, Cologne, and I believe that's everything that I have access to right now. No. Yes. Okay, that's everything that I can give him. Depending on whether or not Duke Honold of Aquitaine here, if he's a really good diplomat, which today sadly he isn't, that's like the determining factor in whether or not I like to kind of keep him around, but we might end up, just depending as things go, we might kick him out of the kingdom. So now what I want to do is go to the entire world, sort by the greatest diplomats that we can actually get, and so real quick, let's only choose men. Someone who's not a ruler and who is in diplomacy range and is of our religious group. Okay, so all these people here, and we're just looking for someone who has a very high diplomacy. Kalanikos here. Let's go ahead and send him a gift and invite him to our kingdom. Hopefully he joins, and let's go through and choose some really good marshals. We have Lambert here. Very, very good. Go ahead and invite him, and then really what we're looking for is people who have I forget what these are called. What are these called? Like leader traits, not leader traits, but these traits here. I've completely spaced what they're called, but what we're looking for is siege leader and potentially some Organizers, those are going to be really, really good to have. So here we can see someone's an organizer, but we're not running into any siege leaders. It would be nice to have, in the very least, just one. But I am not seeing any. Oof, I scrolled way too far too quickly, I think. Let's scroll back on up. Yeah, my mouse is malfunctioning. So let's go through searching. Here's a siege leader, Dire Mout, an Irish person, but he will not join us even if we give him some money. Tiberios, a Greek man. Let's go ahead and send him some money and invite him to our court. Now, we'll try and get 2 if we get lucky. Or we can go with organizers, but sadly those guys don't want to join us. Another Greek man, we can go ahead and invite him. And he's an organizer, that's really good. Emmerich, we'll pass up on that. And I'm not really seeing any other siege leaders. Here's an organizer. This guy's pretty old though, clearly. 65, he's got an old white beard. We will invite him. He can potentially help us out for a little bit. Gauffer, let's go ahead and send him a gift and invite him to our court. Now, before we go through and get the absolute best actual commanders that we want for fighting, like this guy, maybe heavy infantry leader with the brave and patient traits, he could be really good. Arthur. We'll just give it a little bit of time. So now that we've gone through and chosen our we've like delegated a bunch of command to our dukes, we can actually invite them to be on our council here. So let's do that. I'm not worried about having a good marshal or a good steward, so we can actually just invite these guys and then not give them a job. Spymaster, we don't want it to be our mother, because if she gets assassinated, the run can come to a swift end. And so maybe it would be best to do something like the Rungus. Actually, no, we need a good spymaster, just so we can keep people from assassinating us. Court chaplain, Gutard here. We'll get rid of Dax, the Count of Dax here, Loop. Court physician, we can do Gutard as well. And then I want to go through and get rid of all of our commanders. We're not going to need any of these guys. It's better that they're not going to be on the battlefield getting men killed or dying themselves. And we can actually get some better commanders in. Okay, so everything is tip-top here. My council. Let's go to the laws now. We're going to go to realm, no council. And we're going to actually empower the council. In doing so, this actually lets you do pretty much 2 law changes. So we can empower the council, and then we can go through and we want to choose this one here. We have a new advisor. Let's do the Duke of Franconia. On top of that, we can get this guy and transfer to him the Bishopric of Mainz. So now we've gone through, I'll show you real quick, and we've delegated as much command as possible. The Duke of Flanders, we can actually give him Loop of Dax, and maybe someone else, I'm not too sure. No, that's everyone. So we have every single count dealt with. They're all serving a duke, which is serving me. Pick a character focus. I want to choose, I typically like going with rulership, just so I can potentially maybe one day get the, not organizer, it's a lifestyle trait, the administrator. Stacking as many movement speed modifiers as possible, but every single time I've done this, the past like 10 runs, it hasn't worked, so we'll just go with war. That'll be fine. We can get our sister here. She could be a good spymaster or a good martial leader, but I think I want to try and make her a good diplomat, so we'll do that. Assign her the guardianship of Heraldus, seems fine. We also have our daughter, so let's go ahead and legitimize her. And we'll do the same thing, etiquette. Assign her the guardianship of Heraldus as well. And then our son, we're not really going to try and make him an important person, so we can just go with, I believe stewardship's probably fine. Another Gutard here, and we'll choose thrift. Okay, so that's all looking pretty good. We have room for a chancellor now, but again, we're just going to wait until we get the better chancellor. Laws, noble. So what we want to do is go through to these guys, the ones that we've given plenty of land to, and request them to support us on the council. This one, and this guy. Now these guys will almost definitely follow us, and so now it's time to declare war. We're going to try and get the first bloodline is going to be, what is it called? It's like the Conqueror bloodline. That's the one we're aiming for. And so we need to win 15 aggressive foreign wars, where we're the aggressors. So we're going to declare war on Schreger here. And we're going to extort tribute from them. Same thing with Brorick. Declare war. Extort tribute. Kernev. Declare war. Extort tribute. Leon. Declare war. Extort tribute. So there's 4 already. And we're also going to go up here to this land. Declare war. Extort tribute, and we're also going to do Sorbia, declare war, extort tribute, and Nisani, declare war, extort tribute. And so there's roughly half of the wars that we're going to need to get this bloodline. Now, we're going to want to wait just 1 day. So our army levies went down quite a bit. It was like 4,500, now it's like 34,500, which is pretty low. And so if we wait 1 day, all the land that we've given to these dukes, it drastically increase their opinion of us, and so that's going to net us a lot of troops. Before we get too far into it, I want to break up with Himiltrude here. Himiltrude. I'm going to break up with her, and then let's go ahead and request a marriage with the princess of the Byzantine Empire. Now, I think everything is looking pretty tip-top. Yes, okay. And so the plan is that we're going to get Middle Francia for free because our brother's going to get assassinated by our own mother, immediately declare war on the Lombards, take Lombardy, then declare war on the Pope, take Rome and Orpeteo, and then we will swear fealty to the Byzantine Emperor, instantly giving him a pretty huge empire to rule. And we're going to try and become the next heir, and hopefully he dies of old age. Sometimes that doesn't happen. I don't really want to try and assassinate him, so we'll just have to see how things go. But we want to become the next heir and then take over the empire. There's a pretty gamey trick that I have for getting Duke Arcus of Benevento to join the empire, and then we'll own all of this. It'll be pretty hefty. And then immediately declare war on the Sultan of Africa here and take Tunisia. And then kind of mop up all of these little countries out through here, clear out Greece here, which has been conquered by a number of Serbians, a number of Slavic pagans. And so we'll clean that up, and then we'll be hopefully poised to have 15,000 prestige, gain the, what's it called, Blood of Alexander. And once we do that, then we can use our one singular lifetime usage of a war of conquest and declare war on the Abbasid Caliphate here. And we'll try and take, if we check out the short kingdoms, we'll take Syria, Jerusalem, and Egypt all in one huge war. That will be really, really good. And then we'll have a son, name him Alexander, and let the Umayyad Sultanate over here kind of fester into a bit of a problem. Let him take Asturias, let him take some northern Africa, create an empire, and then Alexander will declare war on him and take all of Spain and hopefully most of northern Africa over here, Morocco, and then mop up the rest of northern Africa, kind of clear up to whatever this river is called, the Danube, and then we'll just go through, take England, which should be a pretty swift war, reform the old Roman religion, the old Roman culture, all sorts of really, really cool stuff, and hopefully within 2 characters' lifetimes we will have the entire Roman Empire restored. That is the goal for this. And then if we end up pulling it off, I've never actually really done it. I've gotten really close. Some minor things like that would annoy me, and I just restart the run. Like on the last run where I made it really far, Alexander, I accidentally let him have some land in Italy, and I couldn't actually get Benevento, and so then I seen Alexander did it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good. And then once I became Alexander, I realized that he used his one singular lifetime usage of his war of conquest, which ended up making it to where I couldn't declare war on the Umayyad Sultanate, which was really, really annoying. And so I restarted the run, but there's all sorts of like really, really neat things. We're also going to get into building up actual Roman legions, which will let us declare war on anyone at any time while we have a humongous standing army. And then if we really need troops, we can call the levies. We'll have like 50,000 troops to our name. Things would be really, really cool. But for now, we're going to deal with these wars. So I think I got everything dealt with. Vassals, core packs, yeah, I'm not really seeing too much. Something we can do is go to like Ragnbold here, and he's just some random slow person. Ask him to leave our court. Who else can we get? Hugbert. Don't really need this guy, I don't think. Ask him to leave our court as well. This is costing us a bit of prestige, I believe, every time we ask someone to leave. Jaraval, this guy's always a coward. Ask him to leave our court. Heraldus, we can marry her off to someone. Ask this guy to leave our court as well. And yep, that's everything tip top. So now, just need to wait a couple days, so let's watch our numbers go. We have 34,500. Wait one single day, and instantly we gain a couple thousand more troops extra. So now, if we control click, we can see where we can raise our troops. Let's raise up, well, as a matter of fact, let's raise up all of our troops from our own personal domain. Get these troops, these 4 armies here, and have them go and deal with this war up here. The troops in our capital, we actually don't want to raise them, so that if someone comes to siege our land, they're going to need, as you can see there at the bottom of this little text here, it says, or the green numbers there, it says total 708. So only an army of 708 or more troops can siege our capital, which is going to be pretty good for us. So there's that. We're also at war with Sorbia and Nassani over here, so let's go ahead and raise up West Phrygia, Franconia, Thuringia, and have them come here. We can also get the troops from Aquitaine, Gascon, and have these guys come over here and meet up as well. And then the troops here in Flanders, we can actually raise them in Perche and let them gain up their morale. And this 2,200 troops should be able to deal with all of these wars here. Okay. So everything's tip top. Let's put Karl in charge of this first army. And we will just let time pass now. So everything's tip top. Basilius Constantinos V of the Byzantine Empire has declared war for Achaia on one of the Serbian dukes, and so what can happen is if he wins this war, which he probably definitely will, if we click on the Peloponnese here, we can see there's the city of Andravida. People are following our wishes, so now we can start the vote on shifting the noble obligation towards giving us more troops. But back to what I was saying, if the Byzantine Emperor wins this war, once he wins this war, these 2 cities that he will gain, right, because these are people of a different religion, he's going to take all of the land, every single one of these. He'll own this temple and both of these castles, and what can happen is he can give his sons these cities. And so then whenever, eventually, if I become the next emperor, his sons might actually create merchant republics, which can be really, really annoying because we can't revoke their titles, and there's almost no way to fix this issue. So hopefully that doesn't end up happening. It's happened to me a couple of times in a couple of runs, but hopefully it doesn't happen in this playthrough. So now we have even more troops. It should go up to like over 6k, I believe. Eustace here, Eustradios, it's going to be a commander force, really good. And he's an organizer. This guy's supporting us now. So let's go ahead and get these 300 troops here, put Eustradios in charge of them. We also have a siege leader, which is really nice. These wars over here, I would rather not siege them out, and I would rather just kind of stomp their armies over and over and kind of force them to give up because they don't have a standing army anymore. And the reason I don't want to siege them is it's going to make them really, really weak for a long time, and they'll actually kind of never send us troops, which isn't too much of an issue. We should have enough troops to deal with all of our wars, but it can become an issue, or not an issue, it's just, you know, all the troops that we can get are going to help out. So we have 2 siege leaders, which is nice. We also got this second organizer, so 2 siege leaders, 2 organizers is a pretty good start in terms of the commanders that you can get. And we'll let everyone just sort of chill out here for a bit. Lambert has joined us, Holy Warrior, very good. And who's this? Oh, here is our new chancellor, I believe, yes. Now what we can do is send him to Venice, because there's no way to game our way to gaining Venice. So we This is the only one like time that we're gonna have to fabricate a claim, unless something really annoying happens. But this should be the only time we really need to do this. We're not gonna marry the Lombard princess, of course, and that's everything. So 6.3 thousand troops, which is good. Holding of Renault is under siege. King Karl appears winning this battle rather decisively. And what we're going to do is, there we go, advanced tactic. He's killing plenty of troops here. Full on engagement. 0% chance they win this. And we'll put a siege leader in charge of these troops as soon as King Karl's done with this. And we're looking for some commander traits, some important ones. We want the aggressive trait, because what we're going to do is we're going to become Greek once we become part of the empire. We're going to become Greek. And if we look at the retinues, the bottom of the retinue page here is always going to be your special one. So as we can see here, we're Frankish, so we have access to Frankish heavy infantry. We're not going to build any of these, and instead what we're going to do is build up the cataphract units, and we're going to try and get 18. We might go for 21 depending on how much money we end up getting. And if we get the 21, that'll be really good. And so that's going to be the first stepping stone towards creating our legions, is each of our armies. If I'll show you an example here. Let's have these guys all form rank. Let us put a siege leader. And as we can see here, this is what the armies look like. And what you can imagine is right here, here, and here, these are going to be cataphract units from the time when we were Greek. And then once we become Roman, the Roman culture, then we're going to build the Roman special retinue, which is the Praetorians. And they have access to, it's like 400 pikemen, 250 heavy infantry. I believe those are the numbers at least. And we'll have 2 for each flank. And so that's going to be way later on. And this is going to be over 2,000 troops. They're going to have cavalry, archer, cavalry, heavy infantry, and pikemen, and they'll be really, 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 really strong, and we can have them march around, do our bidding. It'll be really, really cool if we can get that all to happen. Okay, so let's let this all continue forward a little bit longer. Once these guys have enough morale, we're going to, let's get Karl on the center flank, let's get Lambert on the left flank, and Eustratios on the right flank. Eustratios is our, what's it called? Organizer, so he can help us move through a bit quicker. King Karl hates him. Interesting. And we're at 49% on one of our battles. I'm not really worried about sieging these guys out because you kind of can't get them to give up beforehand anyways. We're not going to legitimize young Pepin, of course. And let's go handle these guys. These guys now. Okay. And so once we're done dealing with all this warring over here, we'll get these troops from this siege up here, send them here, and hopefully we can deal with some of this warring going on. And then we'll pull the troops, these 2,000 troops, back into our land, drop them, raise them again up here in Ghent, and then have them join the front as well. So all sorts of really interesting warring going on. Let's go ahead and watch this battle. King Karl should soundly win this. And so that's the the aggressive trait is one that we're going for. We're going for the aggressive trait. Reason being is that we're going to have those 2,100 or 21 units of cavalry. And we want the organizer trait as well so that we can have our armies march around very, very quickly. Once we get the bloodline, that'll be another movement speed modifier that we're going to be stacking. So we'll be moving this humongous army of cavalry around very, very quickly. And if we have the aggressive trait every time we win a battle, then whenever we're chasing them down with the cavalry, if you didn't know, different infantry types, different troop types are better during certain moments. So here we have the aggressive leader, so that's really good. All we need is the organizer trait now. But different troop types are better during different moments, right? Heavy infantry, good in melee. Light infantry, good in skirmish. Cavalry is really good during the chase, so during this, the pursue tactic. And so having both a lot of cavalry and the aggressive trait is going to allow us to pretty much just completely erase armies once we beat them. And so like a really good example is once we come down here to Africa, Northern Africa, we'll land our main armies to siege out Tunisia here. And then Karl himself and a number of his knights will be formed up on all of their cavalry. And we will go about just erasing all of the troops before they ever even get a chance to fight back. And then once we make it into... These guys have given up. Very good. What's really nice about these wars where we're extorting tribute, it gives us a very prestigious amount of prestige, which is good. But once we're out here declaring war on the Abbasid, we can have our huge armies deal with a number of sieges, just siege everything out non-stop, and Karl with his knights will be cruising around the desert, killing any of the enemy armies before they have a chance to, hopefully before they have a chance to engage upon us. And so if we're rather lucky, then we can get this entire war dealt with pretty quickly, and we'll have a very, very strong Roman Empire very, very quickly into the game. So now these 1,300 troops are freed up, and let's see how many we have here in total. 2,600. We should be able to win these wars, or these battles here, especially with good commanders like Lambert and Karl himself. So I don't really care about like burning apostates that we find, unless whenever we check out intrigue here, if it says unknown sources, then usually they're like a devil worshipper and we will kill them. But I mean, yeah, just brand them. It's okay. Brand it as an apostate. Wars are going very, very good for us. Another person's giving up. Very, very good. Brurick. Let's go and march these guys this way. And I mean, I love Crusader Kings. There's all sorts of like really, really fun playthroughs. I've had a lot of really interesting stories that I remember from playing this game. Like this one time a Viking lady sailed all the way down to the Middle East and she conquered a bunch of land and became a sultaness, like a lady sultan, and she was a Viking. Her name was Gertrude. There was another guy that took over England and then eventually went and took over a number of lands out here. Kind of in the Pannonian Basin, and that was really cool because whenever I was reading his traits and stuff, like he was destined to become a god, like just crazy stuff. Whenever he was a child, he can we ransom this guy? Yes, nice. Whenever he was a child, he like strangled a snake that someone put in his little crib, and so like all sorts of really crazy stuff happened in that playthrough. And so I just love Crusader Kings. I remember when I was first learning about this game, it was really hard. I had no idea what I should have been doing, and I remember someone was like, oh, you should just play as Ireland and, you know, try and take over Ireland. And now I've gotten so good at this game that I feel like I can almost do whatever I want if I get lucky enough. And so another one is playing as Rurik, trying to create Russia. I'll also sometimes play as Stoffer here in Metalpad. Thrigiv of House Stoffer, and try and do the same thing Rurik did, but like 100 years earlier. Another one is try and take over Normandy and then eventually take over England and create the English culture from one character, which is really cool. Another one is just try and take over all of Scandinavia. I actually did this on a playthrough recently, so that one was really fun, and we were Vikings from the north, and we were just really scary, able to sort of cruise around the world doing whatever we wanted. All sorts of really cool stuff. This is probably going to be the only playthrough that I record and upload of Crusader Kings, though. Even though I love this game, but it's pretty old. Crusader Kings 3 has been out for a while, but I just don't have it in me to go play that game. I love this game too much. Nasani here, the issue is that they're in Merseburg here, right? And there's a river between Merseburg and Weimar here. And so you could go into Nasani and move north up into Merseburg. There's no river between these two counties. The only issue is that the supply limit here, people will start starving to death if we go into Nasani, which is kind of annoying. So we'll just ford the river and hope that the battle turns out okay, which it should. We have heavy infantry. I don't think that they have heavy infantry. Yeah, they just have light infantry, so should be a pretty one-sided battle. And we want to just keep on moving through, stomping out these armies until they give up. And there we go, 2 people gave up. Except all we need is Traeger, which we're winning a battle against him, so hopefully he gives up right here. We just captured someone. Can we ransom him? No. And we'll just release him then. And now we just should follow these guys around and... Oh no. So here would be a good time to actually get King Karl, put him in the center flank, Lambert left flank, Eustradios on the right flank, and deal with these guys, these invaders. Okay. We're not going to siege any of this, just, I guess we can put our next up commanders, Tiberius, this Irish dude, Gauffer, and let them hopefully deal with those guys. King Karl should win this battle. It's probably going to be a bit even early on because they have better skirmish troops, but once it hits melee, they stand no chance. We have way too much heavy infantry for them to stand toe-to-toe with us. Already we're up to almost 1,000 prestige, which is good. They're trying to siege, but no, we want to continue to engage them in melee. Charge of opportunity into a timid advance. No one's dying, but that's kind of funny. Timid advance tactic. Why did this guy do that? Erudite, ambitious, stubborn. He doesn't have anything that would typically cause that, I don't think. We don't have enough... Ooh, time to duel someone. If you have more than 10 points of personal combat skill, it's almost like it's over a 90% chance you'll win. So let's go ahead and duel him. I think I prefer you dead. Perfect. If you win a battle or like a duel on the battlefield, you typically gain some really nice stats here. I'll show you if we get them. Maybe we just got really unlucky and didn't get them at all. Oh no, I think he's still in the battle. Yes. For our ambition, we should do become exalted amongst men, and this is like on par with a very, very good run. We have organizer and we have the aggressive trait, so that's really, really, really good. And we should just follow them around. Don't try and siege them out. Just try and chase them down until we win over and over. Our left flank, Lambert, ended up losing almost, which is, yeah, he ended up faltering, which is annoying. Cool, cool, cool. Sounds like a solid investment. We're not spending a bunch of money on like a simple commander ever. Unless we're the Roman Emperor. Well, even then. Okay. Attempt an assault, of course. They don't have enough troops to... Oof, we're losing a lot of troops. That was kind of a mistake. 100 troops lost. The second one should be a bit easier. Only 3 troops lost. And then even less for this one. 5 troops lost. Okay. So keep on chasing them down. And now what we can do is we should deal with Nasani first. So let's split the army in half. Choose this 1,100 troops. Have them go down this way. And then these troops we can actually send them. Let's give it a bit of time. Let them actually get in country and then most of the way across the Elbe here. And then we can send our troops into Nasani here. I'm willing to siege these guys all out just to get these wars dealt with. We might not even need to, honestly. We could probably get away with just sieging one county and then they'd give up. Did we win another war against them? I don't think so. Just keep on chasing them. These guys are going to cause a civil war in Middle Francia, which is really annoying. But it's okay. We should try and catch these guys. Where are they going? They're going to Clermont. So let's go to Clermont ourselves. Okay. So we're sieging these guys out. Should be dealt with pretty quickly. Actually not going to Clermont. Let's go here. Looks like we will catch them, which is good. Let's go to our intrigue screen, known plots, and just do auto stop plots. I'd rather not get stabbed in the back early on. If we can help it. Any good commanders? Ooh, this guy's pretty good. Avramar. A courtier. Yeah, screw it, let's do it. Something else we can do is we can get someone like Lambert. I like Lambert, he's always there. Let's go ahead and arrange a marriage between him and Heraldus, because people are just going to be bugging me about marrying her, so we just get her married off now. Who are these guys? Sorbia. The Sorbians. They have a very small army, so we should be able to very quickly take their country as well. Here we're winning this battle. They should have next to no troops after this. especially with our aggressive trait. Killed 100 of them. Karadek, can we ransom him? No. So let's just go ahead and release him. No need to execute him. One of our tributaries has ended up dying, so it's really annoying whenever they just run like this all day. So where are they going now? To Maine? Let's go to Maine then. Okay. Oh no, troops are starving to death, but if they're starving to death, then let's have them do a assault. So that way we can sort of save some of our troops, or just kind of rip the band-aid off before, you know. We lose that many troops anyways, kind of speed along the siege. Okay, so it's been like almost a year. January 1st, so in like a week from today in-game, it'll be around a year. So Renault, and they're going to this place. Damnionia. Damnionia. I am not European, so interestingly enough, I will not be pronouncing any of these European names. So what we could actually do is have these guys move out, right? And right before we actually make it to them, we can, what's it called, accept this peace offer here. And that'll be kind of funny, like kind of just totally boning them here. So the day before we can, oh no, I didn't accept it. I'm so stupid, man. I am a bit of a dummy sometimes. Oh man, that was total fumble. Couldn't be any worse. Oh man, I wish that I could offer peace now. Oh, he will accept it now. Will this guy? Oh, he will. Nice. Okay, so that's pretty neat, pretty nifty. After we already stomped them out in multiple battles. Have these guys go here. They can come and join along. Send these guys actually up to Sorbia. How's this battle going? Oh no, Karl's losing. Let's go and send these 1,000 troops in. We might need them. This is going to be a very close fight. Let's get the Irish guy to help out here. Moving troops along. Hopefully Lambert can pull us off. Here we can drop these troops and then raise them in Ghent. And then we can march them over to the front. So now we're at war with only one country now, which is nice. Nonsense. Right here, they're going to hopefully join in melee. They lose 290 troops on the right flank in one day. Pretty good. Okay. So let's go ahead, form everyone up, split them in half. 1,100 troops, send them to this place, however you pronounce that. Żerwishti and Luzika. Some Polish name. Let's actually try and get, well, Karl's actually pretty good at organizing. Gauffer, let's do Estratios. And then we can also get this guy over here. Is Tiberius a organizer? No, it's the Irish guy. Let's go into ×3 speed. And honestly, I just kind of want to siege out their countries real quick. Let's go see if he's actually going to give his sons some land, the Basilius. Hopefully he doesn't. As we can see, he owns 2 cities, so he could potentially give his sons land. The Sardinians have declared a war of rebellion, which isn't ideal. A weakened Byzantine Empire early on is going to mean that we're going to inherit a weakened country as well. So, we can march troops through the 1700. Let's split them further, get 800, send them to Swabia, or Weimar, Swabia, and then up here. Okay. So that should be all fine and dandy. Let's go ahead and get siege leaders, put them in charge of the sieges. We have Tiberius, and we have... I thought we had another siege leader. Maybe he ended up dying or leaving or something. No, we do. Galfer. Get rid of Lambert, and Galfer is leading there. Tiberius is leading there. Very good. Same thing, we can get organizers and put them in charge. Let's put Karl here. Karl here in the center. I like things looking organized. Then we can do Istratios. My headset's about to die, so I might have to cut the recording for like 20-30 minutes. Let my headset charge, but I do want to deal with this war here. These troops, we can honestly probably just drop them. That's probably okay. Follow the Avars. I don't think I've ever seen the Avars like actually pull this off, like surviving. The Serbians took them over. Cathar, heresy, blah blah blah. We can get these 1,000 troops, march them back into Merseburg here. Put an organizer in there, the Irish guy. Jirwishti. Have these guys come back as well. Put Istratios, and then we can put our siege leaders up here to handle the sieges. Everything's organized, min-maxing it as much as possible. We could, yeah, I would drop them, but it might be beneficial to actually leave them here for a bit. I mean, we might as well get one of these, put Karl in charge, put all the troops in the center flank under Karl's command, and just send them here to deal with them real quick. Just so they don't siege this land here before we pull our countries out of their country once we declare peace, because we could start losing troops, which could be annoying. So there's that dealt with, and let's go ahead and honestly send these guys here. We might have to siege this out. Will they offer or accept our peace offer? No. So let's pull these 900 out, form these guys up. Everyone on the center flank under Tiberius's command. Tiberius. Let him finish the siege. Maybe we could even... yeah, we can. I'm willing to spend 250 troops to get it done right now. Let's have Karl actually pull all these troops out. And once we're actually back in country, we can accept peace so we don't start losing troops to attrition. Offer peace, enforce demands, and we've won all of our initial wars, which is really good. So we're up to 1500 prestige, 10% of the way there to becoming the heirs of Alexander. Sometimes I'll declare war on Bohemia as well. I haven't done it in a long time though, because the Moravians usually declare war on them, and then I don't like losing them, like they're them as an ally too early on, so I try and defend them, and it just takes too much time. So right now we're just chilling. Time to go into ×5 speed, honestly, and sort of just wait out. A rumor. So now we're just waiting for, there we go. Guess I'm gonna go ahead and sort that out. Assassinate my own brother. Okay. So now my headset's all charged up and we can continue along. Marriage between my son and his daughter. No, thank you. So now, my brother's been assassinated. Do I have the claim? Do I have the claim on this empire or on his kingdom? I do. So, I mean, I guess we can try and mop up this war before the end of our first episode here. So let's go ahead and declare war on him. Claim Lombardy. First, let's see how many troops we have. He has 5,400. We have 8.7k, which is good. Before we get into that, though, it's probably going to be in our best interest to delegate some more command. And, like before, we want to give the Duke of Flanders here everything in West Francia as well as in Aquitaine. I'm willing to give each of these dukes enough land to pretty much own up to 3 kingdoms, is what I'm hoping for. And so something pretty interesting that I learned is that you can't give too much land to republics or merchant republics. You can only have so much of the counties within your kingdom, within your empire, be republics or merchant republics. And so that's kind of annoying. And so something that I realized is that you can actually get, like say we owned Orleans here, we could get the city of Sully here, this guy, this mayor here, and we could give him just straight up a whole kingdom title, and he'll still only own one county, but he will be pretty much a king. And then because he's a king, we can delegate, we can transfer vassals to him, and we can also give him his main county, just his capital county. And so then we can go around and do that to each of these triple kingdoms. So Brittany, West Francia, Aquitaine, we'd have one republic here that owns all of this. And what's really cool is once we're Roman culture and Roman religion, they actually get called consuls. And so we'll have a consul who owns all of this, consul who owns this triple kingdom, consul who owns Saxony, East Francia, Bavaria, a consul who owns Lombardy, Carinthia, and I think maybe Croatia would probably be a good idea, or maybe even Sardinia and Corsica. Just triple kingdoms all over the place, and they will be consuls, which is going to be really, really, really cool. So there's that. I have a bunch of extra domains, so something that we can do is click here, sort by the greatest of marshals, Malabatis here. Actually, we can give it to Lambert. Lambert is a cool dude, so let's go ahead. Oh, did his wife ended up dying? She died of depression. That's sad. Let's go ahead and grant him a landed title. I want to give him the capital of this duchy here, Hamaland. And we'll give him enough to where we don't have any issues anymore. So, Friesland. Grant him another landed title. Haturia. No. Over Ziegel. Oh no. So we need to find someone who can replace that dude. Let's search around. Court chaplain. This guy seems pretty good. Search for artifact. Thank you. And we still have one extra piece of land. I guess we can just give him Hatoria here. So there is all of that, and we need to get rid of one additional count. And so I want to keep, what's his name? Lambert as one of our vassals. Not vassals. Yeah, vassals. Direct vassal. We don't want to delegate him to someone else. Let's go ahead and start giving this guy a bunch of land. Not Chartres. Let's give Flanders all of this. Chartres. Transfer to him Dunois, Saint Paris, and Orléans. Orléans, Saint, and Paris. Very, very good. We could even go so far as to give him all of this land here. Bourbon, La Marche, Limousin, and Auvergne. But what is kind of annoying is Limousin, the Count of Limousin, actually owns land in two different kingdoms, de jure kingdoms, which is really annoying. So I'm going to actually give this to Duke Anselm here. So transfer to him. Then we can go and look for him. Limousin, this dude. Here we go. And then let's go back through and continue giving land to Flanders. So what's going to happen eventually is we're going to revoke his duchy title, and then that's going to pretty much turn all of this Flanders into this. It'll split it all back up into normality here, a bunch of counts, and then we can give this all to some consul, which would be really, really cool in the future. So just keep on transferring to him. Just need to hope that he doesn't actually create a kingdom title while we're busy doing all of this. And so we're going to try and hold every kingdom title that he can possibly create, in the hopes that he ends up not creating them. Lyon? No. West Phrygia. Transfer to him. Lyon. Lemuse. Amuse. Prince Bishop of Amuse. And we want to just delegate until we run out of options for this. Auvergne. Give this to Duke Roding here. Who's next? Hamalan, we're going to actually keep him. The Count of Verdun. Verdun, the Count of Verdun actually owns land, sort of like Limousin. He owns land like in two different parts, but because this duke is eventually going to own all this land anyways, we can just give it to him, which is pretty nice. Count of Bar. Reims. Oh no, got rid of that dude. That's okay. Saint-Ouen. Metz. Is Metz part of this Dejor Kingdom? Is. Any more options we have? No. So we're at accounts. And so this is all of the delegation that we've done, and things are looking pretty good. So as you can see, West Phrygia, all of this is owned by a couple of dukes. And there's only like a little bit, just this one county that's outside of the Dejor Kingdoms here. And actually, Lorraine here is owned by the Alemanni, which eventually we can have tip-top. And so this is all looking really good. We are down to 12 vassals, which is pretty nice, especially for this early on. So let's wait one singular day and see if we gain troops or lose troops. We gained troops, 7,200. We ended up losing troops in total though, but that's okay. And now we can declare war on the Lombards. So let's go ahead and do that. Then let's raise up every single troop that we possibly can. We can do something like this. Drop these troops from here, raise them here instead. Same thing with the dukes from West, or the troops from West Phrygia. We can drop them, raise them here instead. Anywhere else that's like pretty important, I guess the Aquitaine troops we can raise like one county over. The troops from Toulouse, we can raise a couple of counties over. Who else we got? The Franconians, I guess we can do the same. Raise them up from here. The Alemanni troops, we can drop them, raise from here. Okay, that's about as good as I think I'm going to be able to get this. And so now we can go through and actually call all of our tributaries to war. Call to arms, call to arms. Call to arms, call to arms. It looks like a lot of these Christian lords over here fighting against the Umayyad Sultanate, which is kind of whatever. Hopefully they'd rather fight on our side because we don't really care about Asturias losing to the Umayyads. It literally doesn't matter because they're never going to be strong enough to actually fight us, especially once we join the Empire. And we actually want them to get nice and big for Alexander to lead a conquest war. Okay, so that's everything that I could possibly do. And let's bring everyone to Savoy here in the Alps. We have 7.2 thousand troops and probably an extra 1,000, maybe 2,000 troops from our tributaries joining. So let's go ahead and get our spy master. We have to assign a new spy master. At this point, I believe we can actually make it our mother. So people are starting to join us. Let's actually have them all come here. I want them to come to the Alps specifically. And the reason we send our mother to Pavia is because, as you can see, we can keep a good eye on what they are doing in their country, near their capital. So we can see where they're raising up troops, where they're sending them, and we can make our battle plans accordingly. Ooh, nice. There's 800 from those dudes. And I believe that's all of our tributaries. That looks like 4, 5, 6, 7. So all 7 of our tributaries are coming to Savoy, hopefully. Some of them might end up coming, yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of them down here in Spain, losing battles, losing troops. It'd be way more beneficial for them to come help us instead. Gaining good money, losing some money, that's okay. Council Court Chaplain, let's go ahead and make it Carloman, I guess. And I think we can maybe try and make our mother, yeah, let's go ahead and try and make our mother go and search for this artifact in the meantime. Hopefully she doesn't end up dying from it, but again, if she dies before you get Middle Francia and the claim on Lombardy, then that's a big issue, but afterwards, I don't think that there's anything that we really need her for, so it's fine to leave her as our spy master, and if she ends up dying, that'll be okay. What we could have also done is something like this, get our organizers, all of our organizer commanders, and put them on some of the faraway armies to sort of help march things along a little bit quicker. Not the most important thing. He's only at war with us, so there is going to probably be one ginormous battle that unfolds. We just need to keep an eye on where he is, which is going to reveal where his troops are. Something kind of interesting and a bit gamey. Spies are yours, occupied spy. So for 5 years. I'm not sure that's worth it. make significant progress. I mean, screw it, let's do it. Who knows, this thing could be rather quite useful. So what I want to do is... Oh no, they're bringing troops here. Okay, so I'm making a bit of a fumble here. Let's actually move troops over to Swizz here. Schweez. Let's go ahead and get this organized. Put Karl center flank, Lambert left flank, and Avramar on the right flank. Avramar, yes. Make sure that he doesn't have anything too bad. He's got envious, brave, so he's a good commander overall, net positive. So even though there's only 800 troops here, we probably couldn't end up beating them because they have the high ground. But something you can do is tell your... what's it called? Oh no, it's our mother. She can't change to anything else. Fire counselor, assign guardian request, order to take vows. Screw it, let's just fire her mother, it's okay. We'll maybe get her to come back another time. Choose another spy master, the Duke of Alemanni, and then we can send him to Como to watch. Ooh, it would have been really good if we would have had troops here in Schwiz beforehand, but we're totally fumbling the bag here. I should have had troops here so that way we can... Ooh, the Duke of Lombard. What if we get an organizer? Can they get there beforehand? No, the Duke of Lombard's still going to hold it, so let's actually have everyone hang out here. Duke Karl, hopefully he can win this battle. If like thousands of troops show up, then we're going to have to disengage and cut our losses, which can be a bit annoying, but it looks like they believe that they're going to lose this battle, so they're going to keep their troops on their side of the mountain, so that's good. We're up to 300 ducats, which is pretty nice. And immediately we're actually winning this, but see here, they have a narrow flank advantage, which can be a bit of an issue. I will show no mercy. So, like I was trying to talk about earlier, if you win a duel in the middle of a battle, then you get battlefield experience. Not all the time, as we've seen earlier, but sometimes you get it, and that's pretty cool. 1% morale damage, 1% morale defense, and an extra personal combat point. Pretty cool. The king has slain an enemy commander on the battlefield. Pretty intense. Bring everyone here. Yeah, because they have the narrow flank, they're not even losing that many troops until we make it into the little, what's it called? Let's go with aggressive trait. If we can ever give anyone extra traits, I would rather get them aggressive, because once we get our retinues fully up and running, we can actually have, like here we can see, like sometimes we can put a commander in a subunit, and what you can imagine is something like, for example, imagine just a bunch of cavalry in the center flank, and then each one of the like actual subunits, retinue, like cavalry subunits, has a commander. So it's just a bunch of knights all led by actual like dukes and commanders, and if they all have the aggressive trait, then we could potentially very, very quickly destroy enemy armies and then chase them down, netting us some very, very good combat numbers, which is hopefully going to be very nice for us. They're bringing in several thousand troops, but we're already here, so hopefully this isn't an issue. And hopefully we win this battle before their 3,000 troops show up. Because if that ends up happening, then... Is Como mountains? No, it's plains, so they're going to lose this entire war, like, right now. Yeah, they don't even have enough time to run because Karl is an organizer. Well, I guess it looks like they are going to be able to run. Number Avramar. I want Avramar on the right flank. Okay. Continue chasing them down. Where are they going? They're going to Milano, which is plains as well. Is there a river between Como and Murano? No. So this is going to be a pretty one-sided battle here. We should very, very soundly destroy them. Destroy them, chase them down, win the battle, win the war. 4,000 troops. We have twice as many troops in the center flank, left flank. Right flank is a bit more even, but they have no commander, so sound defeat is inevitable for them. I'm testing out some new microphone. setting, so hopefully it's not too annoying, but I decided that maybe it would be better. I just want to check it out to see if I can turn up the volume of my microphone, like the volume that it picks up, and then just kind of sit back a little bit further. And just kind of want to check this out, so I'm going to be testing that out. If we control click his country, we can see which land he actually owns. So he owns Pavia, Cremona, and Florence, which he typically does. Sometimes he'll own like Parma or Milano, but today he only owns those ones. Have everyone reform ranks and move on to this place. Is there a river between, what is this, Monteferno and Milano? There is, but we have like 4 times, 5 times as many troops as them, so another sound victory for us is inbound. This time the actual king is here on the battlefield. He is matched up against on the right flank against Avramar, so maybe Avramar will engage him in personal combat and slay him. Only a small chance, and it looks like he's pulling the rest of his army back to his capital, Pavia, so right after this we can march on Pavia, stomp out his second army again, and then start sieging Pavia. Give it just a couple more days. And march. So now he's locked in, so even if he wanted to, he wouldn't be able to actually pull back until troops are engaged on one another. Stupid rebels up here. Hopefully, it would be really nice if Anselm actually raised his troops from his country and came and dealt with those guys, but not always going to happen. They have no support, or they have no morale, so they should fall pretty quickly. They're just going to give up. We're already in pursuit tactic, which is where Karl himself shines. That's nice. We have enough money to pay for Venice if we get the claim on it. Want to go through, make sure we're still attempting to make a claim on it. We might even attempt an assault here, depending on, we'll test one day, see how many troops we lose in a day. Hopefully it's not too many. Yeah, we actually, the number went up, but we didn't lose too many troops, so we'll just keep on sieging down. They don't have enough troops to stop us at this point. Even if they wanted to, even if they were on the mountain. Actually, 2,000 troops can put up a pretty good fight up against 7,000. I've seen some pretty gnarly numbers sometimes in mountainous regions. So we've taken their capital, Pavia. We didn't actually take any of his family members prisoner, which is kind of annoying, because that would probably instantly get us to win this battle here, this war. But speaking about mountainous regions, this one time I played as Zabulistan here, and I completely reformed the Zunist pagan religion into an actual religion, and we turned this all into, like, it was just really, really cool. We were a humongous problem. We had thousands and thousands of very strong troops. We created their little secret society, and it was really, really nice. But the only problem that I have with playing as like Middle Eastern countries is like I don't like the names, just it's just so far away from, like, I'm just some American. It's just so far away from anything that I can even recognize, right? Like Jimu Fuda. And so, like, literally the whole time, it's like, oh, and his heir is Bara Jima Fu Tizai. Like, it was just hard for me to keep up with. It was really fun, but it's just hard to keep up with sometimes. Let's go ahead and just try and siege this down. Another 4% there gained. I guess we can try another one. I don't want to lose too many troops, but yeah, this one will just wait. So let's go ahead and resign our commanders. And let's put a siege commander in charge. This guy. So hopefully it changes over to him. Sometimes it doesn't, so what we can do is pretend to leave and go back. And now he is the leader of the siege. Go to times 4 speed here. Oh, someone went and dealt with the, what's it called? It's up there in the north. A rebel. Valdemar, this guy. Let's go ahead and execute you for being a thorn in my side. What about you? Pomeranian, lowborn. And execute someone of a foreign religion. And a Breton. This guy, he just got unlucky. We can attempt to ransom him. No interest. We'll just release him then. Okay. Dealt with all of the dissidents. Now we just give it time. Gisela has been looking at me in a new way lately, giggling whenever I talk to her, laughing at things that are not meant to be funny. It seems she is infatuated with me. Nice, 30 prestige. So you always want to go with green traits whenever you're attempting this run because you want to be the most benevolent leader possible so that whenever you're trying to become the emperor, the heir to the empire, people are more likely to vote on you. So we're going to go with humble, which we didn't end up getting it, but that's okay. And I guess we can come back in here and deal with one last battle, win the war, and hopefully we have enough troops to actually fight the Pope. The Pope gets a lot of troops early on, so hopefully we have enough to deal with him. Ooh, we kind of lost a lot of troops there for like another 500. There's our war won. Offer peace, enforce demands. Alright, so we win our war, and due to the amount of delegation that we had done earlier, all of these counts and stuff, this entire new country that we've just absorbed into our own country, we're still not over the vassal limit, which is really nice. Kingdom of Italy, hail to the king. So what we can do is go to de jure the Papal States, and we can usurp this because we have enough money. So, if we get a claim on Venice, then what we're going to do is borrow money from Jewish merchants. But if we don't get this in time, then we'll try and save up enough money for it through conventional means. But now we own the claim on the papacy. Let's go check in on the emperor. He's still kicking. Looks like he's still alive. Crushed a revolt. He's at war with some. He's at war with a revolt here. Dealing with a revolt. And he ended up not giving his sons any of these cities, which is really nice for us. And so now I believe it is time to end this episode. It's been pretty fun today. Getting lots and lots done. And I believe we can actually drop these troops without losing anything. Hopefully. Let's check our numbers. We have 9,000 troops, and in the next episode, we're going to take the Pope, or the papacy, we're going to take Rome, Orvieto there, and then we're going to swear fealty to the Byzantine Emperor, and I'm going to record the entire next episode before I start uploading these, because this is usually the point that I have the most trouble with, is trying to actually become the heir, and then waiting for the Basilius to die. Sometimes we'll try and assassinate him. There's all sorts of different things that we're going to try to do. Yeah, so we'll get into that in the next episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to follow along with more series like this on strategy games where we're going to be stacking modifiers, then be sure to subscribe. Peace.